Welcome to the Trollon Podcast. I'm your host, Bo. We've got a huge episode today. It's a State of Origin Game 1 preview. Let's get straight into it. It doesn't feel like State of Origins tomorrow. I'm going to say it. I don't know why. I've been having to remind myself all week that it's even on. I know that there's been some talk about changing it to the end of the year permanently. Should we leave it where it is? Should we have standalone weekends? I just wanted to give my thoughts on that. I think have it during the middle of the year, but have a break. So you have 3 weeks off from the season. Now hear me out. We're not only going to play Origin. We're going to play three match series. So we're going to play New South Wales versus Queensland. They're going to play 3 times. New Zealand versus England. They're going to play 3 times. And Tonga versus Samoa. They're also going to play 3 times. And it's all going to be played over 3 weekends. Three match series. I think it'd be great. I think logistically it might be hard to have an England team over here at that time, but definitely Tonga versus Samoa. Like we've already seen how big a powerhouse Tonga can be, and having them play a 3-match series every year, I think people would love to watch that. You could even take some games over there. You could play the whole series over there if you wanted. So I think it'd be really good. I think the fans would like it. Give the clubs a break. Give the players a break during the year, and just rip into that. I think that's a good idea. I don't know. Let me know what you think. If you like it at this time of year, or if you rather at the start. Personally, it does not feel like Origin. It's our 3 biggest games in the year, especially game 1. It's meant to be huge, but it just doesn't feel like it. Speaking of game 1, it is massively crucial for Queensland this game. If they lose this game, they've got to go to Sydney and try and save the series. That's going to be just such a big test for them. So I think this game probably is their whole series. They got to win this game to be any chance. New South Wales, on the other hand, their side's just unbelievable. I think on paper they're definitely the better side. We'll get into some injury news on Queensland. There's a couple of players that didn't finish the session today. The 18th man, Kurt Capewell, and Brenko Lee, they both didn't finish the session. So Wayne Bennett did say after that they would be all right and would be right to start. But what's a Queensland Origin series without a injury scare? I do think James Tedesco is all right to play. He was in a knee brace about 10 days ago, but seems to have overcome that. And then there was some word that Jake Trbojevic had a bit of a sore ankle, but he should play as well. Now, I'm going to talk about how I think, because I do think New South Wales will win the game. I'm a proud Queenslander, but I do think New South Wales will win. But here's where I think Queensland can find an edge. The only way they can win, I think they need to attack the centres. I think they need to attack Clint Gutherson and Jack Whiten. Now, I know not the players, because they're 2 of the best players. They finished first and second in the Daily M's this year. But they are playing out of position, and they are playing inside and outside plays they very rarely play with. So if they can put some pressure on them early and make them make some poor decisions there defensively, maybe they can rattle them. Maybe they can rattle, especially Clint, because this is a huge test for Clint Gutherson. He's playing out of position. He's on debut. The fullback, he's a natural fullback. The fullback spot's probably not going to be his, barring injury, for a long time. Like James Tedesco, he's the number 1 fullback in the world. And then you've got that 14 spot, which we all thought he might get a crack at. You've got Cody Walker and you got Ryan Papenhuyzen, who are probably in front of him at the moment for that spot. So it's a really big test, because if he doesn't play well tomorrow night, they've got good centres waiting in the wings too. They've got Stephen Crichton, who was centre of the year this year, had a great year. And they've also got young Zach Lomax, who he does. Denny did make the point that he's got the most errors of anyone in the comp, but he is explosive and he's a goal kicker too, so that works in his favour. Now, so I think that's where they got to attack, and they got to start. They have to start well. The way I think the game's going to go is Queensland will come with a lot of energy, probably keep it close for 20 odd minutes. But then the class of New South Wales and their bench, I'm in love with their bench. Their bench, Cody Walker, Payne Haas, Cameron Murray. Cameron Murray is on the bench. Cameron Murray starts in almost any team in the world at the moment. He's unbelievable, and he's on the bench. And then you got Angus Crichton. So That's just madness. And then compared to Queensland's bench, you got Ben Hunt, Lindsay Collins, Jair, and Jaden Sewer. So definitely New South Wales have the edge there. Payne Haas is just an unbelievable player, absolute workhorse. He can run all day. I've said my piece on Cameron Murray. Not to mention he's the best looking bloke I've ever seen in my life. And then Angus Crichton, well, he's got 9 fingers, so he's outstanding. And Cody Walker, one of the form players of the comp this year. So that's where I think New South Wales will win. And I think they'll just be able to go another gear that Queensland won't be able to go. There's a couple of markets in this game which are just really, really good value. Like I've thought all week, Damien Cook, especially with those forwards coming on in the second half, he can do a lot of damage, and I've actually got him down as my man of the match. And then so Jack Whiten scored 2 or more tries, and Damien Cook man of the match. That's $41. So that's worth a look there. Denny liked two BYO bets. They were Josh Adokar to score in the first 10 minutes or Daniel Tupou to score in the first 10 minutes. So Josh Adokar's $9.50 and Daniel Tupou's $10. You can probably put both of them on, and one of them should hit at least. So for a $10 bet, you stand to make $95 if you do hit. So it's probably a good little market, that one. Back to the game. Look, I'd love to see the Maroons win, but if they do lose, I do fear that'll be all she wrote for them. I've got the Blues winning this series 2-1. I think the Maroons pick up the last game at Suncorp. Denny had the Blues winning 3-0. Shock. Denny had the Blues winning well tomorrow night. I think it was up near I think it was 36-38-4 or something. So he really liked the Blues. We'll be going down there next week. Me and Denny and a couple of our mates. I'll be the only Queenslander. So if there's any Queenslanders watching, feel free to throw me some support here. I'm outnumbered with these losers. Luke Keary, Nathan Cleary. So I wanted to talk about Nathan Cleary in particular. It's only 10 days since that grand final loss. Huge game for him. Huge game. There was someone, some paper, Paul Crawley, come out and said, the reason why Freddie should arrest Nathan Cleary first game. Pull your head in, mate. He's world class. A week earlier, he was the best 7 in the game. He loses one game. He doesn't make the Origin side. You're kidding yourself. He's outstanding. He does need to bounce back. He's going to have some mental scars there. He's got the temperament to do it. He's got the head on him. I think he'll be right. He's got a head on him. I think he'll be right. I do like Jack Whiten as well. A big thing about this series is they take in 27 players into a squad, and they're not allowed to bring anyone else in. So injuries are going to be so huge. This first game, if there's any injuries, it can change the whole series. It's not a very good series to bet on, like series betting. Just one injury could change the whole complex of this State of Origin series. So keep an eye out for that. I think we pumped through this pretty quick. I think we're about at 9 minutes. So let me know if you're still watching, and if you are watching, just we'll have the link tree in the bio. Click on that. Go follow us on our socials. And send us a message. We reply to all our messages. Just let us know what you like, what you don't like. If you want to see something different on the show, just let us know. We're pretty easy going. And we'll be back here Tuesday with Denny. Denny will be here as well. And we'll rip into game 2. Go Queensland.